I love Dubai. Most people do, especially the wealthy who jetted off there before the first UK lockdown, for their mental health, while the rest of us just stayed here. The city is clean, weather's lovely, just the infrastructure is built for tourists, and I actually managed to get a couple of holidays before COVID, which was fantastic. It is by far the best destination in my opinion. And the thing is, something silly like 15% of the population are resident, because the UAE don't really give out citizenships that easy. Majority of people there are workers, and the rules are so strict for them. Whether you're going there as a business analyst, an accountant, a teacher, a taxi driver, whatever you're going there as, you'll have to follow strict guidelines, because if you don't follow them, you're basically out. So you'll find generally the people coming in follow the rules. Anyway, as a destination, Dubai is absolutely fantastic. There's loads of families to do, malls, outdoor venues, attractions, theme parks as well. They've got a few good theme parks going there. They've got Global Village as well. If you don't know what Global Village is, it's just a massive outdoor attraction with lots of different food stalls from different countries. The authenticity of these different countries is a bit debatable, but it's a fantastic experience considering the ticket prices are just ridiculous. Of course, you will have missed out on the Expo 2020, which they were promoting, and because of COVID, a lot of us haven't been able to go, and if you're going to go, it's going to end, I think, in the next few weeks anyway. Now, the easy restrictions, thousands of people, at least here in the UK, have started to book their holidays already for the summer and for Christmas and beyond, because those dates are now coming up on the search engines. If you go onto the airline websites, contact the travel agencies, they're all coming up. And a lot of these airlines are probably going to be posting offers quite soon on their packages, because they want the levels to reach pre-COVID, which is understandable, and I certainly want to capitalize on that. First thing you want to check if you're going on holiday is your timings. Now, if you don't have children, you can simply book time off. If you book it outside of a half term, it's cheaper. Okay, that's simply put. If you've got a family, it's not going to be cheaper because you're going to do it in a half term. Now, I know of some people who take their kids out of school maybe in the last few days or the first few days back, but you risk a fine. Yeah, you save a few £100s, and possibly the fine is probably less than what you would pay if you went in half term, but it goes down on the record and it's not good for you, especially if you do it quite a few times, because then your local council will probably pull you up on it. So try to avoid that. In terms of the Dubai season, it's generally October to April, and the main reason is it's the heat. Now, outside of these months, things are open. However, if you want to go and you don't mind melting completely, then go for it. Secondly, you need to check if there are travel restrictions in place. Now, certainly with the UK government during the first and second lockdowns, people went abroad and suddenly the rules were changed. So when they get back, they had to isolate or do PCR tests. Now, sometimes these PCR tests are expensive, and some people had to pay £100 to £150, dollars. And if you've got a few people in your family or group going, that's going to cost a lot, especially if you have to be back for work maybe a few days later, because then your employer might say, we're not going to pay you for those days, so it's going to cost you quite a lot in that sense. Then obviously you need to check if you've got your timings right outside. Do you really want to be going back and you're at work the next day? I know I'd need a few days at least either side, or at least on when I'm coming back. Some of the package deals offer an insurance, and this is why people go for it. Sometimes you are paying quite a lot and you have to read the fine print, because they don't actually cover all instances. They might cover a holiday being shifted, so you don't pay the admin fee in order to shift it, but they won't cover the PCR test, so you need to read that carefully. But it looks like a lot of them are offering free cancellation if you just look on their website. Speaking about restrictions, in Dubai in particular, masks are mandatory. If you're outdoors, this could be a problem. Some venues are, they do want you to have them outdoors, even though say in the UK, they don't really care. Well, no, it's all cancelled really. Over there, they want you to have them outdoors. So if you think that's going to be uncomfortable, maybe in 30-degree heat, if you're going between October and April, then have a think about that. Because I know of some people who do get a bit panicky when they have a mask on them and they can't take it off, especially running the risk of fines or being kicked out of a venue there. That would ruin your holiday. Now, as of this moment of filming this video, Dubai requires you to have a COVID PCR test 72 hours before your flight. So if you test positive, you have to move your flight, which could cost, and as I said before, some people get the insurance, which kind of covers this. However, this is as of speaking of this moment. Okay, you need to check it whenever you're looking to book it. Don't go by this guidance, because this is probably, by the time I've uploaded this is probably a few days, few weeks maybe, but check it, it's ever changing. And that's the thing, the airline agencies, travel agencies, they're all going to have an updated list, because they've started producing one now and they keep updating it, which is better, because during the first lockdown, no one had a clue. It was just chopping and changing. Someone would fly out somewhere and they'd come back and be like, well, I have to take a test. I have to isolate for 2 weeks. It's going to cost me how much? Yeah, so you could run into these problems. Your final point is the itinerary. What do you want to do there? Have you got family with you? Have you just got one person? Have you got a small group? Are you a group of mates? I mean, it's all a different... I certainly wouldn't go quad biking if I've got kids with me, in that sense, because it's dangerous and I just want to be safe. Whereas if you're with your mates, you might want to go quad biking and go out more into the desert area. Now, I'm not going to go into the exact specifics of the areas because top 5 attractions, that's like a whole different video and so many people have done that already. But you're going to have to look at the infrastructure of the place. Now, Dubai's got a great metro system, which is cheaper than taking a taxi around, but the metro system goes literally all the way throughout. You need something called a Knoll card, which you top up, and it's honestly the cleanest metro system I've ever seen. I mean, I've been to obviously the London Underground. I've been in Spain, France, not many countries, but it's literally the cleanest. They've got fines in place, and they've got family sections, and generally in any other section. So women in family sections, if you were to enter this and you were a single man, say for instance, you could get a fine, and it's quite frowned upon even if you did get away with it. In terms of the metro, if you both have the same taxi, you will need to offer them your seat. It's highly frowned upon not to offer a seat to a family or a woman by herself or women with children. But yeah, especially if you're a guy roaming around on his own, you could get in a lot of trouble. In terms of the road system, I am too scared to drive in another country. Now, Dubai's road system is really safe in terms of the speeding aspect because they've got speed cameras everywhere. However, if you are driving there or if you're going to be in a taxi, you will know people will cut you up completely, which means they quickly merge into your lane. Now, they signal. Don't know how much of an advantage that is because they signal. It's like, hey, I'm going to signal and I'm going to cut you up straight away. You have to leave a gap, and at least in the UK you do that. You get tooted at straight away. They don't really do that over there. So those are my thoughts. Clearly this is a new channel that I'm doing. I'm thinking of going Dubai, obviously, Singapore, possibly Malaysia. I could really go anywhere, to be honest, once these restrictions are down and once I get time. I will do ye old England first, just to get the channel up and running. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I have got another channel and I don't show my face on that, so this is actually really hard to do, so please leave nice comments. But yeah, like and subscribe, and if you know my other channel and you recognize my voice or my hands, because I'm doing a lot of that, keep it a secret for now because I'm not supposed to face review anything. But yeah, give it a thumbs up, a like. I've said that before, I'm just saying it again now. Subscribe, and until next time.